Hi there, tomorrow in Sheffield, the 2018 edition of the Rab CWIF begins. And the Quiff stands for the Climbing Works International Festival, and the Climbing Works, of course, is one of the most famous and probably at this point one of the oldest bouldering gyms on the planet. Sheffield is really close to the Peak District, and there's a lot of British climbing stars living either in Sheffield or nearby. So this is like I'm gonna call it the epicenter of British climbing. And for the Quiff, a lot of super famous international stars fly into Sheffield, or more precisely into Manchester, and then go to Sheffield to take part at the Quiff. It's like a really big party to start the season. The Quiff is open to everybody. It's a massive open competition, and hundreds of climbers take part. Last year, I think they had more than 400 climbers. I don't know the number exactly for this year. And as I said, everyone can participate, and that's one of the coolest things about the Quiff. Normal climbers like you and me can compete on the same boulders as superstars like Jan Hoyer or Alex Migos or Jarne Kruder. For the qualifying round, they have about 30 problems. I think like this year it was exactly 30 problems. And since they have so many participants, they break it down in more or less 3 shifts. One of them early in the morning, starting at 9, then one in the afternoon and one going into the evening. Most of the pros competes in the first shift, starting at 9 a.m., in order to have as much rest as possible before the semifinals. The top 20 out of those more than 400 climbers that take part in the qualifiers move into the semifinals. This means that out of those 30 problems, some of them, in fact, I would say that most of them are pretty hard. There's climbing for everyone. Pretty much every single climber that takes part is gonna top several problems, but after, I'm gonna say, the first 10 easy problems, things get pretty hard pretty quickly, and things get especially technical. I was pretty surprised last year by how technical the problems were. I was expecting more overhanging problems. There's a lot of vertical climbing, a lot of slabs, really technical footholds, and a lot of balancing moves. Obviously there are also dynos, there are roof problems, but I would say that most of the problems are on the technical side of things. As I said, most of the pros start climbing at 9, and if you go into the gym at that time, you're gonna see superstars left, right, and center. And things get pretty crowded. You have to be careful not to fall on top of some world champion that may be passing by. Let me show you some of the hard problems from last year. This one right here was pretty hard. I only saw a couple of climbers getting the top on this one, and obviously I wasn't there all the time. And this one right here I think was the hardest. Again, I only saw a couple of climbers topping it. I think out of all the participants, only Yon Won Chong got 30 tops during the qualification round. And they have this magic crack on the right side of the competition wall. And on this one you can see climbers going from 0 skill on crack climbing, like myself, I don't have a clue how to crack climb, all the way to people who were just, progressing through that wall as if it was just a ladder of jugs. And here you have the brand new French champion Manu Cornu trapped in that crack. I guess it wasn't that bad of a hold when you can literally get trapped in there. But he managed to get his hand out, so no problem. Then on the afternoon, things get a little bit more relaxed. You can still find some pro climbers, some stars here and there, but not that many. I'm gonna call them just the lazy ones who don't really want to wake up early in the morning and climb, in the cold. but most of the climbers are just casual climbers. And then on the last shift in the evening, things get pretty crazy. They have a costume contest, and you can see people climbing as Super Mario, as all kinds of superheroes. There's, Spider-Mans and Supermans for sure, and some other more traditional costumes, like this gentleman right here who was dressed as an alpinist from the, 1940s or something like that. And he offered one of the longest tries I've ever seen on a boulder problem. Granted, this problem was pretty silly and included a tunnel, but for the third shift they prepared some silly problems with moving holes and some really weird stuff. But yeah, this guy tried hard for more than 7 minutes, carrying his backpack all the way, and his backpack wouldn't fit through the tunnel, so he had to take the backpack off and take this mat that he had on top. And he managed to go all the way through the tunnel without touching the floor, following the rules. But I'm guessing that he was so exhausted by the end that he fell on the last move. That was heartbreaking. After hundreds of climbers, thousands of tops, then the next day, on Sunday, things get really serious. Only the top 20 make it to semis, as I said. And from that point on, the Rab CWIF becomes just a normal World Cup, an IFSC competition with IFSC format, and also with IFSC route setters. One of the founders of the Climbing Works is Percy Beeston, who's a very renowned international setter. And they usually invite other international setters to set not only for the semis and finals, but also for the qualifying round. And I think this year they have Raini Finstinger from Austria. He's again an IFSC setter. So the level of setting is that of an IFSC competition, and the climbers at that point, once they get to the semifinals, are IFSC stars, most of them. Or you can have some outdoor stars like perhaps Jimmy Webb, Alex Migos, who, I used to consider him more an outdoor guy, but I think he's getting a taste for the indoor climbing and the competition scene. Last year the semis were super hard, just a few tops, especially on the male side. The problems were really, really hard. And I'm gonna share with you this finishing move by Rustam Gelmanov. This problem was super hard. People were falling left and right on this one. It looks hard because it was super hard. For the females, perhaps a little bit easier, but still pretty hard round, the semifinals. And then, the top 6 move into the final. The final follows the IFSC format as well, so 4 problems, 6 climbers, 4-minute flat. And it was super hard for the guys, just 2 tops. Nobody topped the first problem, and nobody topped the last problem. On the female side, more tops, all the problems were topped. Since this is a normal gym, to watch the semis and finals, the place is absolutely packed. And I was lucky enough to be on the mat, but at some points I was pretty sure that I would have a climber landing on top of me. Especially on the second problem, when they were swinging from the top. But no, nobody landed on me, and it was a really, really fun final to watch and to shoot. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to the Quiff this year. I'm not gonna be in Sheffield, but I will be watching from home. I will put all the links in the description because the semis and finals are gonna be live streamed through YouTube. So yeah, that's it for today. Enjoy the Quiff, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Take care.